Hey, welcome back to UQ. In this video, I will talk about the best-selling book Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book is particularly recommended for those who want to know how to form a new habit, or those who want to try and lose weight, or study something but have given up in the middle. There are three main topics I'll cover to help you get started to build a better you. 1. The power of a small habit. 2. Defining your ideal self. And 3. 4 steps to form a good habit. Here are some formula that you may find interesting just to get started. 1.01 to the power 365 equals 37.8. And 0.99 to the power 365 equals 0.03. They represent that even a small change you make every day of the year can result in a huge difference. If you grow by 1% every day, you will be almost 37 times better than when or what you are now. On the other hand, if you have a bad habit and deteriorate by 1% every day, you will drop to almost zero. It says, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, unquote. If you make a small difference in your lifestyle, if it becomes a habit, it will accumulate and you will get great achievement over a lifetime. To give an example, the British cycling team had only won one medal in the Olympic Games since 1980. But a new coach in 2003 implemented a new strategy and made tiny changes, like how comfortable the saddle is and how comfortable the cycling suits are. He improved every single thing by 1%. 5 years later, in the Beijing Olympics in 2008, 60% of all medals in the cycling races were won by the British team. So small changes can make a big difference. So you may now be thinking that small habits can make a big difference. But even so, it is hard to keep making an effort and form a habit. So why is it so hard to keep going? It's because even if you change your behaviour, you cannot see the results right away. If you eat healthily and do exercise for 2 days, your shape won't change. If you learn a new language for 3 days, you still won't be able to speak it. Also, how fast you expect you will get the result differs from the actual growth. If you make an effort, you expect you would steadily grow like a straight arrow, but in reality, it takes longer to launch. However, it grows dramatically at some point. For example, if you do weights, you won't see the results for a while, but one day you will realise you have made some noticeable progress, even though the progress you made was almost unrecognisable for quite some time. Many people give up at this stage if they expect results too soon. So how can we make a habit? There are 2 ways to form a habit. Firstly, the key to building a lasting habit is to decide what sort of person you want to be. In other words, create a new identity first. If you find it hard to form a habit, you might find the need to change your focus. Many people just try to adopt a new process to get a result. But if you want to form a long-lasting habit, you will need to change your identity. Consider there are 3 layers, like an onion. The outermost layer are your outcomes. That's what you want to change, like losing weight. The middle layer is the process. They are your behaviours and habits. People often just try to change this level to get a result. For example, if you want to lose weight, you may want to try a new diet and think, if I do this for a while, I should be able to lose weight. So in this case, the result you want to achieve is to lose weight, and the new diet method is the process. But you are likely to fail, because in order to change your habit, you need to go deeper. That's your identity, your beliefs, or your self-image. So first of all, you'll need to decide what sort of person you would like to be. That's how you can change your behaviour and get the result you want. If you change your identity, and now you consider yourself a healthy person, would you eat a donut every day? Instead, what would you do? If you have a choice of chips or salad, which would you choose? You're a healthy person, remember? By focusing on identity rather than process, your behaviour will change accordingly and you can actually lose weight. So instead of focusing on your goal, let's say losing weight, focus on your new identity, what kind of person you want to be. Once you decide what you want to be, your identity will change. Your behaviours are a reflection of your current identity, your belief or your self-image. So the more you repeat your preferable behaviour, the stronger your new identity becomes. And that new identity will be reflected in your behaviour. And that's how a new habit and a new identity is formed. You'll need to focus on what sort of person you want to be and repeat the small changes until the new identity is formed. Now you've decided on your new identity, I'm going to tell you 4 steps to form a good habit. Atomic Habits states that habits follow 4 steps: are cue, craving, response, and reward. Then that becomes a cycle. The cue is something that makes you expect a reward and then triggers your brain to initiate a behaviour. Next, you'll have the craving. What you crave is the change of state it delivers. The response is the action, which becomes a habit. Finally, the response delivers a reward. For example, when you are walking down a street, you smell something sweet. That triggers craving for donuts. Then you might decide to buy a donut and eat it. That's the response. You'll be satisfied. That's a reward. Then walking down the street can be associated with eating a donut. So that street itself can become a trigger. So every time you walk on the street, you eat a donut. This is how a habit is created. Not a good habit either. So in order to form a good habit, you break down the habit you want to form into these 4 steps of the cycle. So, make the cue obvious, make the craving attractive, make the response easy, and make the reward satisfying. First, cue, make it obvious. This means you make it clear what you do, when and where. Many studies have proven this helps people to stick to their plans. In 2001, a study was conducted in England to build a new habit of exercising over 2 weeks. Were divided into 3 groups. The first group was told to keep a log of how much exercise they did in 2 weeks. The second group was told to keep a log as well, but they were told also to read documents on how exercise improves their health. So their motivations were lifted. The third group were told to do all the things that the second group were told to do, but they were also told to specify what kind of exercise they would do, when and where they would do it. 35 to 38% of the participants in the first and the second group did exercise at least once a week. In comparison, 91% of the third group did exercise at least once a week. So, if you decide to go to the gym in the mornings on Tuesdays and Fridays, or you decide to do meditation for 10 minutes at 9 o'clock every day on the couch, you'll be more likely to stick to your plan and to be successful in building a habit. The book also introduces 2 tips to make it obvious. The first one is to build a habit around your current habit. So you might want to decide to do meditation after a shower in the afternoon. The second one is to change your environment. If you want to learn how to play the guitar, leave guitar where you can see it all the time. If you want to go running in the morning, prepare all your gear the night before and put it next to your bed. Cue obvious. Let's move on to the craving. You'll need to make it attractive. When our brain expects a reward, it releases a hormone called dopamine. Hamburgers, when you see one or just see the golden arches, your brain will release dopamine. Our brain naturally wants high-calorie food. The craving here is already attractive. But in order to form a good habit, how can you make the craving attractive? Combine them with what you like to do. You might feel too lazy to go to the gym, but if you only allow yourself to listen to your favourite songs when doing exercise at the gym, going to the gym will be more attractive to you. If you repeat that, your brain will release dopamine when you go to the gym. The next one is response. You'll need to make it easy. People naturally tend to choose the options that are easiest. It's easier to watch TV or look at your phone than doing 30 air squats. So how can we make it easy? The book introduces the 2 minutes rule. It means you only have to do it for 2 minutes. Habit to read more, you can decide to read for 2 minutes every day before going to bed. This way you can lower the bar. You will probably end up reading more anyway. The last one is reward. You'll need to make it satisfying. The reward needs to be satisfying. People want instant gratification. You know the risk of getting lung cancer, but you still cannot stop smoking. You really want to lose weight, but you choose to eat a rich chocolate cake. In order to avoid that, you'll need to set a more instant reward for your effort. That means if you want to lose weight, it will take time to get a result. So if you resist eating chocolate cake or doing exercise, you will put a coin into a jar. Or if you eat healthy, you tick the day on the calendar. If you can see the progress and see the coins in the jar increasing, or the calendar days filled with ticks, that will make your reward more satisfying. But be careful. Even if you want to keep the log of what you have done, you probably don't want to keep a record of your weight. There is a way to lose weight called non-scale victory. Because your weight won't change so quickly, you will not be able to see the progress instantly and you will lose motivation. Now, let me summarize what I have covered today. 1. How powerful habits are. A seemingly small 1% change every day will make a huge difference, or 37 times over a year. 2. You'll need to change your identity depending on who you want to be. When your identity changes, your behaviours will change. 4 steps to form a habit. Human behaviours follow 4 steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. Cue, make it obvious. Specify what, when, and where. Craving, make it attractive. Combine what you need to do with what you want to do. Response, make it easy. The 2 minutes rule and lowering the bar. Reward, make it satisfying. Make the progress visible so that you are satisfied. Today I talked about Atomic Habits by James Clear. There's more to this book, so if you would like to build a good habit or ditch a bad habit, I strongly recommend you read this book. The link is below. This channel aims to provide scientific knowledge to improve our lives. I will talk more about health, wealth, and relationships. So if you want to get more useful information, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next time.